Trump's 3 sentences were like 3 depth charges, blowing up global markets in chaos. Just 2 days after the turmoil subsided, the U.S. hastily overturned the table. After all, if the waters were truly calm, America might just suffocate from internal tensions in the silence. For today's U.S., the absence of news is the worst news of all, like a gambler with bloodshot eyes, unable to resist the urge to roll the dice again. Trump's first blow, cutting off negotiations with Canada. 7 days later, he wielded the tariff bludgeon, immediately halting all trade negotiations with Canada and releasing a tariff list a week later. Why all the fuss? A look at the U.S. government's books makes it clear, the fiscal deficit is ballooning like a blown-up balloon, and the national debt piles higher than the Statue of Liberty. How can one manage without making some extra money? The problem is that after all this turmoil, the U.S. wallet has not only failed to bulge but has also pushed allies further away. Trump's second blow, pointing at the Fed chair and cursing, calling Powell a stubborn, stupid mule. He even said he'd be over the moon if Powell resigned, so he could find someone willing to cut rates. Trump's ranting is like an old man bickering on the street, but the underlying contradictions have long been laid bare. The U.S. political system is like a rusty old machine. Democrats and Republicans keep jamming each other's gears. Those who want to solve problems can't get things moving, while those who don't keep throwing wrenches in the works. The Fed claims the U.S. economy is as solid as a rock, but even Wall Street's old foxes are secretly rolling their eyes at that. The stock market hitting new highs? It's more like a bunch of magicians performing on stage. The president plays the plant, institutions act as assistants, all waiting for retail investors to take the bait. Trump's third blow, pondering to continue bombing Iran, using geopolitical conflicts as a painkiller, considering strikes over uranium enrichment issues. Though it sounds terrifying, it's actually like a child brandishing a toy gun and shouting threats. The U.S. wants to maintain hegemony, but old allies are holding it back from escalation. A real war risks bankrupting the country, so it can only rely on tough talk to stay relevant. Yet after half a year of turmoil, U.S. manufacturing hasn't revived. Instead, it's wilted like eggplants hit by frost. With a 5% risk-free return rate and policy flip-flops, which company dares to move production lines back? What's even more absurd is that while the U.S. keeps playing its old game of prioritizing financial speculation over the real economy, China has already secured a dominant position in the stablecoin sector. Now that the U.S. realizes it can't catch up, it's likely to resort to the same old tactics, withdrawing from international mechanisms just like when it ditched the Paris Agreement over ESG issues, basically throwing in the towel and claiming the game isn't worth playing. After all, any further turmoil would only end up serving China's interests. Just look at Trump bouncing around, cursing one person after another and hurling threats. He's like a clown doing acrobatics on a powder keg. China has long seen through the U.S. predicament. That boiling cauldron, while appearing to cook others, is actually slowly scorching its own foundations. While the U.S. is still frenziedly clinging to power, China has already brewed tea and settled in as a composed observer, because those who watch the drama always stay clearer-headed than the actors.